What's going on, everybody? I want to give you some thoughts I had today. And I want to let you know, being a successful freight broker actually does require a lot from the individual. This individual, the freight broker, does have to do and have a lot of things. They got to have skill set. They have to have the right values. They have to know how to get along with many personality types. Not only the values, but the right values they have to have. You see, where a carrier has an asset called a truck, unlike a broker. So the carrier brings an actual truck that you can see, touch, and it's an asset, and it can actually carry loads. So that's what they're bringing to the table. But a broker, what do they have? I just named you a few things. What they have to have is the ability to solve problems, the ability to get along with people, the ability to understand right from wrong, goes with the values. They have to be honest even when no one is looking. So becoming a freight broker, a successful freight broker, requires many things. You see, the truck, the driver, the carrier, and it's not to discount the carriers or a driver, but they're bringing something big to the table. That's the truck and trailer. And of course, those things cost money, insurance, truck notes. The broker may not have that, but they must still have quite a bit because they don't have an actual truck. So a broker's asset is going to be the right values, how to seek out rights from wrongs, how to read people just on the phone and being able to communicate. And just to get a customer, a freight broker has to do a lot of things and be a lot of things. A carrier and a driver, they go hand in hand, all right? So when I say either one, it's one and the same. So when the carrier does not have to be so many things to get a customer. The brokers are getting the loads. So the carrier just goes on a load board to get any load they want. If they burn the broker, they don't show up, or they lie to the broker has to actually deal with the consequences of those lies if a carrier chooses to lie and not be honest. So a broker cannot just lie to a customer and have a customer. A carrier can, I'm not saying carriers do this all the time, but they're certainly capable of it, and it does happen. But there's a bunch of brokers posting a bunch of loads. So unless that carrier just does this all the time, they'll have marks on their carrier. So brokers will start seeing these notes regarding the trouble this carrier is. But it's not even compared to what a broker has to be and what they have to do and the actions they have to take to even acquire a customer. Then continue to be those things and more to keep that customer and grow with the customer. So Some of these values that a broker must have to succeed in this business is being ethical, being honest, doing the right thing, even when nobody's looking, willing to hold others accountable, including themselves, holding ourselves accountable, even holding a shipper accountable, as well as holding a carrier accountable. So, as a broker, you must be able to do okay with conflict and dealing with this conflict head on, whether it's with the carrier or whether it's from the shipper. Meanwhile, the broker is dealing with a lot of personality types. So you must understand these personality types, because I can tell you, carriers, dispatchers have a personality type. Brokers have a different personality type. Shippers have a different personality type. There's about 4 main personality types, and so you'd want to discover those personality types. If you currently struggle with getting along with every single personality type, you would want to study, do what it takes, so you learn of those personality types and how to deal with them. Because it's going to be required to be a successful broker. Because again, a broker has to be a lot of things to come in this business, stay in this business, and grow in this business. The broker has to be a lot of things. They don't have a truck, so their word is their biggest asset, keeping their word. So, broker lying to a customer, lying to a shipper, you can't get away with it. You might get away with it one time, where you told them maybe a delivery was this time as they wanted you to deliver it at, but you know you're going to be late a couple hours, but you had the point of contact who's going to be delivering this, who's going to be receiving the delivery, and you contacted the point of contact and let them know you were going to be 2 hours late, and you think that's okay? So you think it's okay to appease the customer who's paying you and just tell them what they want to hear, while you tell the non-customer person who's not paying you the real truth, just because they're the ones that's going to be delivering the load. You might be able to get away with that 1-2 times. I doubt it, but see, a carrier can, because they can just get another load with another broker. So at this point, you know what it takes, at least a few things, what it takes to be a successful freight broker, because you have to be a lot of things. And honestly, it may seem like I'm saying you got to have all these things and it's overwhelming. How am I going to be all these things? Believe it or not, there's people who naturally have these things, and there's people not so much, but it can be learned, and these people can grow into what it takes to be a successful freight broker. So I think a big part of it is, if you have the right values as a freight broker, no matter what situation you face, you can easily get through it because you're fueled by the right principles and values that will always allow you to get through these situations and keep you in a good position. And that can be as easy as just being honest, being truthful, even when you know it might disappoint your customer or somebody involved. But to be successful, you gotta be comfortable with uncomfortable situations. Okay? Brokers don't have a lot of room to mess around. Our word is everything, so once it's broken, there is no going back to believing in your word. Once you lose credibility, you lost it. You can't gain it back as a broker with the same customer. You'd have to go get a hold of a new customer who doesn't know you yet. And getting a customer is not easy. It's not like you can go on the load board and have a selection of customers. Like the carrier has a list, has a load board. They can go get loads and get paid for it. So a broker requires many things. If you're willing to have these things, acquire the things, it's so worth it, and there's a lot of money to make. If you have the right values and you run your business ethically and you have morals, and even discounting your own price to the shipper if you feel maybe the shipment getting there was a few hours late, you shouldn't just automatically feel good about just charging them a large price as if there was no issues and nothing was late. You might be okay with charging them that amount, but when a customer sees that you take accountability and responsibility, even when you didn't have to, that goes a long way. That goes a long way. So discover the right principles and values, and I think as long as you have that, you'll be set up for success as a freight broker. Please subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Alex Cassido, guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.